The Liberty men's and women's triathlon team recently competed in the Mid-Atlantic Collegiate Triathlon Conference Championships, as it would be the final race of the fall season for the Flames.
Having a triathlon right at Smith Mountain Lake is fantastic because we're able to go out there the weekend before and pre-ride the course. A lot of them, had a chance to see the course for the first time, but seeing it in training versus when they're racing makes a huge difference just with the confidence, with the rolling hills and the corners.
I didn't know what to expect too much. Was really excited to compete. I love racing. It definitely was a ton of fun and great venue to participate in the sport.
Liberty had to compete in tough conditions for the race at Smith Mountain Lake, but the team would still be able to find success on the day.
Yes, it was a cold morning for sure, and you don't realize 38's cold, but when you come out of the water sopping wet and get on your bike, the wind, so it was definitely different. A lot of them have not experienced that. They'd run by and go, "Coach, my feet are numb." Keep going. So it was a good learning experience for a lot of them, but they did great. They just put their head down and keep going.
The race was really, really good. Despite the weather, it was very cold conditions. Most of the people on our team, this is their first triathlons, so overall, everyone really pushed hard and did well even when the water was really cold. Everyone wore wetsuits. And just did their best.
I had never had to wear extra layers on the bike because I thought with the wind it would just flap and slow me down. But running out of 65-degree water when it's 39 degrees is never a good feeling. I think I regained feeling in my feet mile 4 of the run. So our transitions overall were slower, having to take off a wetsuit and put on extra layers, but it kind of took away from the pain of everything else by focusing on the numbness and how cold it was.
For 6 members of the Liberty Triathlon team, they had to compete in 2 races on the day, the Olympic distance race in the morning, and then the draft legal race that afternoon, which would test the racers not only physically, but mentally as well.
This was the first year a lot of them did 2 races in one day, which can be quite daunting, physically and mentally. You get done with one and you're thinking already that you have another one. But it was a great experience. We had 3 girls and 3 guys do both races, primarily just to get that experience. So we don't get to be in the draft legal format very often. It was the first time this year, and so just wanted those athletes to get experience because at nationals we do use the draft legal format, and in the mixed team relay we also use the drafting format.
When Coach was like, "Do you want to do 2 triathlons?" I was like, "Oh, do you think that's a good idea?" And she said, "Yeah, go for it." And so I've basically focused on the first one, and coming into the second triathlon I was obviously super tired and kind of didn't have the best attitude heading into it, standing on the beach, getting ready to go, but as soon as the horn went off for the start of the race, I definitely felt like God's presence in me during that race and just the motivation from Him to keep going, and obviously coming off the bike with the pack and getting to see all my teammates cheering and gave me a lot of motivation too.
I think everyone was definitely really prepared to be able to do races physically, but definitely mentally it was a challenge to be able to push ourselves beyond the limits of what we thought we could do. And so during the first race, it was obviously an Olympic, so twice as long as the sprint in the afternoon. And so we just put our all in what we got in the morning, and then in the afternoon, just everything that we had left.
With the conference championships now complete, it closes out a successful fall racing series for the Flames, as the men's and women's team would each finish 3rd in their respective divisions, which would give the team a combined 3rd place finish in the conference team standings.
Honestly, all I can say is God is awesome. He brought the right people onto the team, and I feel like the people on the team being so committed to the sport, everyone showing up to practice and having a drive to get better kind of brought the whole team back together. We're all so motivated that everyone's improving so much.
Even though we have a brand new team and people are just starting out, we really did well. We were able to just succeed, every single person as a whole, and everyone did their best individually so that we could perform well as a group. That's
just a testament to all the hard work of the whole team, and Coach Heather committing herself to giving us great workouts and really committing herself to making sure that we're staying disciplined and doing all the little things to be high-level triathletes.
The Flames are now preparing to transition into the winter training season, where they will use the time to prepare for the spring semester, which will culminate with the national championships later in the spring.
Now that the fall races are over, we're going to transition into a strength training phase. And so we just want to get them strong and durable, so all this training they can handle physically, mentally, without getting any injuries. And then we'll incorporate a lot of technique work, especially because we have a lot of new athletes. And hopefully then come nationals next April, we'll be ready to shine.